Today we are going to discuss about the role of Mahatma Gandhi in the freedom struggle of India. So let's get started. So every year UPSC by and large asks one question or two questions from Mahatma Gandhi. So why Mahatma Gandhi becomes important? Gandhi was responsible to create a mass participation. He shifted the struggle from classes, the moderates and the extremists, to the masses, which were the common people, the workers, the laborers, the farmers, peasants, the women, and the lower and upper zamindar. So never in the history of India was a moment which wholeheartedly created so much of mass participation in India. So before that, before we start, let's give you a brief background about what happened immediately before Gandhi came to India. So home rule played a very important role. So home rule was established home rule of India was established by Annie Besant and BG Tilak, Bal Gangadhar Tilak. So basically, home rule movement created a middle path from the extremists who followed a very extreme path of killing and assassinating the popular leaders, and the moderates who basically believed in petitions, prayers. So not any part of these had a very if you see, by and large it did not materialize to a large extent. So the moment, if I talk about the home rule movement started by and large in early in 1913-14, and it created a link between towns and the country, which was then materialized by the great Mahatma. So it also created a spirit of nationalism. So 1917 reforms, if you see, are by and large the outcomes of the protests created through the Home Rule League, the Home Rule League of Tilak, and the Home Rule League of Annie Besant. So these people separated the home rule. One, the former created in a north and western belt, and somebody took it in the southern part of India, gradually and slowly. So, and it basically prepared grounds for the Gandhian politics. So emergence of Gandhi played a very important role in Indian polity. So he was, as we all know, that Gandhi was born in 1869 on 2nd of October, a highly educated person from an upper class Diwan family of Porbandar. So, and 22 years he stays in South Africa with South African people, and he came in contact with Gujarati Muslims, Tamilians, and got to know the diversity of India, even in South Africa. The people, the endangered laborers who used to go, were basically Tamilians, Muslims, and many of them were Gujaratis. So this way he got to know about the diversity of Hindustan, the India, in South Africa. So his first work in South Africa started against Satyagraha of registration certificate, and he talks about this in his newspaper called Indian Opinion, where it's a very strange thing that this newspaper was published in 4 languages: the English, the Urdu, the Tamil, and in Hindi. So these newspapers so created diversity in itself. So these 22 years, Gandhi started his own style of in his own style of satyagraha, his own style of leadership. So he set up the Tolstoy farms. He was a very good big fan of Tolstoy. Who was a contemporary. He couldn't meet him because of unfortunate reasons. And they were, Indians were discriminated, since they were and they were treated as a second class citizens also. So registration certificate meant that every citizen of India, every person of who migrated to South Africa, was mandatory to carry a certificate. This was very much unacceptable to the society of that time. The laborers did not have the basic rights. The Indian marriages was also illegalized. So this was also a violation of Indian culture. So all these things, he protested against the registration certificate. He did not carry it. He burnt it literally. He even protested against the illegalization of Indian marriages, the certificate of registration, and he established the Tolstoy farms, which later became the ashrams of Wardha and and many parts of India. So 22 years, the nutshell of those 20, he was 24 when he went to Johannesburg. He went to South Africa, and when he came back, he was already 48. So what was the takeaway from that? Gandhian influence in South Africa was he united the people of all religion and classes. He evolved his own style of leadership, and he realized that a leader has to take, sometimes he has to take a path of unpopular, which is unpopular in nature. So Gandhi in India, Gandhi returns in India. This is wrong. He came to India in 1914, and the famous Pravasi Bharatiya Divas is celebrated on January every year to celebrate the Gandhian coming back of uh, to India. So initially he was not, as I talked about Home Rule League, he was not in favor of Home Rule League, since he thought that demanding a home rule is in the middle of war, because since Second World War was going on at that time, so it was not very conducive. His political guru Gopal Krishna Gokhale suggested him to tour the whole of India. So he toured the whole of India. For 1 year, he realized the length and breadth of India. He realized the diversity of India. He only knew a pinch of it because he has stayed there for a hell lot of time. So the first and the foremost thing where he comes up as an Indian leader is the Champaran Satyagraha, the famous Champaran Satyagraha. Gandhi has a peculiar habit of creating leadership out of his followers. So Rajkumar Shukla was there in Champaran Satyagraha, which was there in Bihar. Rajendra Prasad was there. J.B. Kripalani was there. So these people were followers who later became, after J.B. Kripalani was the president of International Congress also. And Rajendra Prasad later became the president of India. So, and Rajkumar Shukla was also involved, and also he played a very important role. So this was Champaran was basically an issue of Indian plantation. So planters were forcing peasants to grow indigo, and indigo was not sustainable for the crop, for the people, because they were doing a subsistence agriculture. Agriculture was everything, and they can't eat indigo. So Teen Gatya system was there, where 328th area you have to cultivate the indigo. And later what happened was, due to international reasons, that indigo cultivation had to be stopped, and the farmers were forced, the peasants were forced to falsely misappropriation of leaves, were they were forced to shift, and they were forced to give more money when they wanted to shift. So if you want to grow indigo, then also you have to pay revenue. If you don't want to grow indigo, then also you have to pay so the revenue. And this was the oppressive, this was a zenith of oppressive rule of Britishers. So Gandhi came in. So it was the first non-cooperation movement. The Gandhi landed too in Champaran, and British forces told him to go. So he said, I will not cooperate with the government. This government is exploitative in nature. The human rights, the basic fundamental rights of people are not given to them. So I must not resist. I must resist this government. This was the first non-cooperation movement. So what was the impact of Gandhian politics in this period, 17 to 18? So there was a superiority of masses now. Women also participated in a longer, this was a liberation for women. Peasants, workers, as I talked about, businessmen also came up in this period of time. So Indian National Congress became an umbrella organization. So an example of workers' integration is shown by the Ahmedabad mill strike, where the illegal, the bonuses, the plague bonus was discontinued in 1918. So Ahmedabad mill owners were not giving the bonuses to the workers. So the workers protested, and this was the first hunger strike of Mahatma Gandhi. And the plague bonus was then revamped. 35% of increased wages, because at that point of time in 1913-14 there was no organized food cold storage. There was no FCI, Food Corporation of India. So there was a lot of plagues. There was no sustainable agriculture. British had monopoly over every part of it. So gains from Champaran, Kheda, and Ahmedabad Satyagraha. Kheda was also a Satyagraha of Gandhiji. Ahmedabad we have talked about. So the gains were understanding the strength and weakness of masses. So Gandhi knew that masses have the capability to break or make the government. Gandhi acquired respect from the common man, and every youth became his followers, including the great Bhagat Singh, the Subhash Chandra Bose, and Nehru. So we say that these were followers who later became the leaders. So Gandhi had this ability to make leaders out of his followers. So that's it from my side. Thank you so much.